Hey everybody, Signet here with the Bullish Bears. Welcome to the introduction to TOS. So what I want to do in this video is kind of get you familiar with the ThinkorSwim platform. Maybe you're a new trader and you're not familiar with this at all, or maybe you're a trader who's been around for a while and you've been using this and want to get more familiar with it. So the purpose of this video is I want to just get you comfortable and familiar with the ThinkorSwim platform and maybe point out a few things that might have been escaping your notice. So let's start with the home screen. If you go to the upper right portion of the ThinkorSwim, you'll see it in green here, home screen. Now, the home screen has quite a lot to offer. Not only can you see uh, how long before the market opens again, you can keep track of orders that you might have working, filled orders, canceled orders. What I like about this is setting up different widgets. Okay, so we can scoot this over and we can see that whenever ThinkorSwim comes out with um, new updates or educational material, maybe they add new studies or indicators, and they've also got a publication where they discuss the ThinkorSwim platform. You'll find all of that in here. They also, as you can see, have events and articles, right? So they got one here from Reuters, uh, economic events, Fed balance sheet, all that good stuff. This is their publication, and they'll tell you about new things that they've done to the ThinkorSwim platform, new updates, new studies, new indicators. So you can look at events in here, read articles, watch some videos. You can hit up social media for people who have a trading account called MyTrade. But if you kick that off to the side, you can start loading this up with um, widgets like a watch list. You have this scrolling ticker down here at the bottom, and you can detach one of them. So now you can have two scrolling tickers, and you can change it to watch your own profile. You can do social sentiment, load it up with any of your own watch lists or the indexes. Maybe something that's the top 10 gain, right? So you can do the top 10s, all kinds of different things. So I found that quite useful because it's very skinny. I can set it like on top of the a website if I'm in the Bullish Bears chat room, and it just stays tucked away nicely, and I can still monitor what's going on. And you can see it stops when I mouse over it in case I'm interested in seeing what's going on. And if you click on a product in here, it will throw you back into this ThinkorSwim platform and put you on that chart. So really helpful. Um, you can change these widgets. You can go in, change what they do or what they are. So for example, go into market data. You can set up what it's called the top 5. So you can create or load a scan and it'll show you the top 5 from that scan. Now if you've already got scans loaded, then cool, it'll go ahead and show that for you. If you don't, then you could build one. So I really like this, and you can set up, I think you could set up 6 of these, and then once you bring out your sidebar, then you could load this up with watch lists and have all of this with watch lists, and then you can monitor a whole lot more products. Another thing that you can do in here is you can set it up for uh, heat map. So instead of looking at these like this, where you're reading ticker symbols, you can actually go in there, set up market data, and put it on heat map. So here's the S&P 100 in the heat map. And now I can see at a glance what stocks are pulling the market down or what stocks are doing really well. In the last few days, while I'm recording this video on 4/11/2019, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the Dow Jones market, has been hammered really hard by Boeing. So Boeing's been dragging down the Dow Jones. But if I hadn't known that, if I wanted to see, you know, what's pulling down the Dow when all the other indexes are doing so good, right? You can have that loaded here, and you can just see it at a glance. So like today, United Healthcare was the one pulling down the Dow, and it was not Boeing. Today, Boeing actually rallied up a little bit. Now I'm not seeing Boeing at a glance. There it is. I knew it was in there somewhere. So for the last couple of days, it's been Boeing that was doing that. But I really like this. You can set these up. So the home screen is a great, great tool, especially if you're watching a lot of products. And you can see I just go to market data, watch list, heat map, select the index that I want to watch. And again, so here I've got the S&P 100, the Nasdaq 100, and the Dow Jones. 3 indexes right there that I can see at a glance, and I can identify what's pulling down the market, or if there's a really great stock that I might want to trade today. I can identify it just like that. Right. So then we can set these scrolling tickers to say like the top 10 in the Nasdaq, or the top 10 in the S&P 100. Right. So a lot of different options in here, a lot of different things that you can do. If you're more into economic data, you can also do quite a bit with that. Or if you want to watch trade TV, um, so a lot of different options. Most people, it seems, in the Bullish Bears chat rooms, don't really seem to know about this, and that's why I wanted to focus on this. Kind of the first thing that I wanted to point out and talk about. But you can also get into economic data. So um, if you want to look up something that's going to have earnings, like J.P. Morgan has got earnings coming up. Oh, only Fed symbols. So we could browse Fed symbols then. We could go and look at the labor market conditions, or the JOLTS numbers. Um, so consumer price indexes have affected the market the last few times the numbers have come out. So you could go in here and set this to PCI and kind of get a heads up on what's going on. So me personally, I'm not too big into the Fed side of it, but absolutely, if that's your thing, this is a great resource for you instead of digging too deep into Market Watch to find that stuff. You can catch it right here on the home page. So I'll switch widgets, go back to market data, hit up a heat lamp, and let's see what else. So I've got the S&P. Let's put one more on there. So there's the Dow. I don't want the Russell 1000. It's a 1000. I think would be kind of scrunched. Let's go ahead and do it and just see how much it's. Yeah, see, it doesn't do you a lot of good when it's scrunched down that badly. So maybe the Russell wouldn't be a good idea. If there was a smaller Russell one in here, that would be good. They got the 2000 and the 3000, but so we could try maybe the micro cap. Nah, it's just too much. So maybe not the Russell, but definitely you got the other 3 indexes, and that would be a good start. But you can put scans in here also. It doesn't have to be indexes. I was just using that for an example, but definitely you could put in your own scans, or perhaps um, keep track of your portfolio this way, things that you're already trading or interested in trading. You can keep track of your P&L for the day. We'll set one more up. So let's do top 10 volatility increases. So now we can see um, markets that are getting uh, increased volatility. Definitely useful for finding some trades. And now you can see that I've added a whole new row. So that's 3, 6, 9 different watch lists that you could add in here. Plus, you could have your watch list here on the side as well. All right, you could get maybe one or two more over here. So definitely a lot of value in the home screen. And plus, if you throw in the two scrolling tickers, you could absolutely see there's a lot of real estate here for watching the market. So the next thing I want to talk about on ThinkorSwim is the setup. If we go into application settings, we can go to look and feel right here in the general, and you can change your entire ThinkorSwim platform. Maybe you want the white instead of the dark, or you can go in and look at the old school. So you could go to look and feel, go to color schemes, old school ThinkorSwim. It looked like this. It's kind of where I had it before I changed. Those are like the pre-built, but you can go in and make your own. So we're already in old school. I can make a new one based on the way the old school ThinkorSwim is. So now it opens this dialog box and it says, what do you want to change? You can change label colors, you can change tabs, um, pricing when it's going up or down inside the tables in your watch list, for an example. You can do headers, symbol bars, backgrounds, uh, what it looks like when you click on something called selection. So you can really get to customizing ThinkorSwim a lot of different ways and make it colors that are more comfortable for you. So like for example, table background, we could go in there and we'll just get wild with it. We'll just give it something crazy so you can recognize it right away. So now you can see when I open up a watch list, it's got a yellow background. Now I don't like it yellow, but you can see it. You can really get in there and customize your ThinkorSwim. Change it to the look and feel that's more comfortable for you. Now, it is kind of cool messing with the colors. You can really get it comfortable for you. But we can do more than that in that area. We can go back to look and feel. I'm going to delete that color scheme that I just made. So we'll just delete that. But while we're here, so I trade on a couple of different monitors, and you can go in and you can make the ThinkorSwim really small and set the spacing really tight. And then when you apply it, it really shrinks down the ThinkorSwim. So if you're trading in like on a laptop with one screen and you need all the real estate you can get, that's one way that you can do it. You can go in there, application settings, look and feel. If you're on a bigger screen, or maybe you've got multiple screens, you want to see things, you got the room to see things bigger, you could go in there and set the font size bigger, maybe spread out the words a little bit. Now you can see how much it widened my left sidebar, and it widened out the spacing between each of the numbers and the letters. Right, so all kinds of different ways that you can customize your ThinkorSwim to look and feel in a way that's more comfortable for you. Another thing that you can do in here happens to deal with your system. So in quote speed, you want to make sure that it is set to real-time, no delay. People see up here that it's real-time data and they think, oh yeah, no, I'm good. I got real-time data. But what they're not realizing is that their quote speed, I believe it defaults at moderate. So you want to go in and you want to check that. You're in general settings, system, quote speed, real-time, no delay. So that is one thing you definitely want to check. Another thing you can customize when you go to set up application settings, go to notifications. Now you can set an email address and a text message. That way, whenever you get an alert on ThinkorSwim, say you set an alert for price crossing over a moving average or price breaking a new high, ThinkorSwim can text you or email you to let you know that that event has happened. Say you put in a market order and the order gets triggered, this could give you an alert. So you can go in here and you can give it your phone number and an email address to send alerts. It's really useful. I would recommend unchecking the system login. Otherwise, every time you log into ThinkorSwim, it's going to text you, and that can just get very annoying. So I clicked on alert is triggered, and you can see that we got a list of things to go through here. We can choose what alerts activate. Do they activate a sound on the ThinkorSwim platform? Do we get an email? Do we get a text message? Right, so you can definitely configure the alerts quite a bit to let you know what's going on in the ThinkorSwim platform. Now another setting you have in here is the order defaults. I don't trade stocks personally, but I trade options, and the default is 10 contracts. That used to bug me for a long time until I figured out where it was at. I'm a one lot trader. I don't trade multiples very often. And so when I do, I'd rather be the one who chooses how many more contracts I'll add to my trade. So I set these to 1. That's been a lot more comfortable for me, and I didn't have to go in every time I placed a trade and change it from 10 to 1. So you will find that under order defaults options. Now if you do futures or futures options, you can see the default quantity here is also set to 10. That's wow, that'd be pretty expensive. I don't trade these other products, so I don't know what the setting would be, appropriate. But these don't bother me any. The options one was the one that absolutely bothered me a lot. So that's where you can change that and set it to 1. Be a lot more comfortable for you. So you can go in next into the hotkeys. Now I'm not much for using the hotkeys other than for platform manipulation, right? Zooming in or out of a chart, doing that kind of thing, bringing up the dialog boxes for studies and things like that. I don't place orders with hotkeys or anything like that, but your all your hotkey information is here, and you can print out the hotkeys. By the way, if you're new and if you're having a hard time remembering what hotkey does what, you could go in and you could print that, and then keep it with you at the computer, so that you could begin to become more familiar with those hotkeys. And then, of course, setting up your profile. Now, this might not seem very important to you in the beginning, but later, if you get to sharing studies or charts or sharing your trades, it will say who is sharing that product. And so, you can go in and customize this a little bit, let people know who you are if that's your thing. Um, Give yourself a cool little nickname or whatever. Since I got my nickname in the Bullish Bears group, I keep the same nickname here in the ThinkorSwim so that when I share charts and I share trades in the My Trade section, it matches my nickname that I use in the Bullish Bears group. So I like doing that. I like having the my profile organized. So those two sections right there, talking about the home screen and a few ways to change the look and feel of the ThinkorSwim platform, has taken a full 20 minutes, and I wanted to keep this video short and not to take up too much of your time. So I appreciate you watching, and I look forward to seeing you at the next video.